All right, guys, Mrs. Lyons, we're going to give this stoichiometry thing one more time, one more try. I think I've come up with a little bit different way to set this up to maybe show you how to figure out what steps you need to do. So I've got a balanced chemical equation here. I have my mole map, okay? And then I have a question. So how many grams, so we're looking for grams of nitrogen, are needed to produce 18.8 grams of ammonia gas? So still going to write down my given, 18.8 grams of NH3. I'm going to write down my unknown, grams of nitrogen gas. Okay, now I'm still, some things never change. So when we look at this, NH3 is still A. A is always what you start with. So in my mole map, NH3 would go in wherever I have an A. Okay. N2, my unknown, is always substance B in this problem. Okay. Now, instead of setting this up horizontally like I have been, I'm going to set it up one step at a time. Okay. So this is a full 3-step problem going from grams of A to grams of B. So we're starting here, ending here. Okay. So step 1 is to go from grams of NH3 to moles of NH3. All right. To do that, I start with my given 18.8 grams of NH3 over 1. Okay. Now, some things don't change. One thing that never changes when we're doing these conversions is that these units, and by units, what I mean is grams of NH3. Okay. My units are always going to come down diagonal. So grams of NH3. Okay. Grams always comes from the periodic table. Okay. Whoops, you can't see what I'm writing. Sorry. Grams always come from the periodic table. And when we have grams, whatever number our molar mass is equal to 1 mole. Okay. So when I have grams on the bottom, I'm going to have 1 mole of that substance, NH3, on the top. Okay. This way, once again, my units will cancel. So I need to find grams of NH3. So if I look at my periodic table, I find nitrogen. Nitrogen has a mass of 14.01. So I'm going to write this over here. And then hydrogen has a mass of 1.01. I have 3 of those, so 3.03. That's 17.04 grams. That's the molar mass of NH3. So that's what goes in here, 17.04. Okay, so now I'm going to do this math. 18.8 divided by 17.04, 1.10. Okay, 1.10 moles of NH3. Okay, that's if we're going from, if we start with grams of A and go to moles of A. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is taking this answer, so 1.10 moles of NH3. And step 2, if I look at my mole map, is going to go from moles of A to moles of B. So moles of NH3 to moles of N2. So I'm going to write that down here, okay? I'm going from moles of NH3 to moles of N2. Moles of A to moles of B, okay? Now, always over 1. When I'm going from moles to moles, I use the mole ratio from the balanced chemical equation. Okay. whatever is up here, just like here, whatever's here has to come down here diagonally. So in this case, moles of NH3. What I'm going to goes on the top, moles of N2. Okay. And again, these numbers are going to come from my balanced chemical equation. So moles of NH3 is 2. Moles of N2 is 1. Oops, sorry. Make my paper big enough. So moles of N2 is 1. Moles of NH3 is 2. My units cancel. If I do this math, 1.1 divided by 2. My calculator's being a little weird. Divided by 2 is 0.55. Moles of N2. Okay. So that's step 2. Step 3 is going from moles of B to grams of B. So moles of N2 to grams of N2. Okay, so I start with my given, 0.55 moles of N2 over 1. Again, these units are going to come down diagonally. So moles of N2 go here. All right. And then what I'm looking for, grams of N2 goes on top. Okay. Anytime I need grams, I have to look at the periodic table. So again, nitrogen's molar mass is 14.01. I have N2. So that's 28.02. All right. When I have grams, moles is always 1. My units are going to cancel. I'm going to take 0.55 times 28.02, and I get 15.41 grams of N2. Okay. Now, here's the thing about this. All right. If you are doing, no matter what you're doing, if you can figure out where to start, okay, if you are given grams, you're going to start at step 1. If you're given moles, you're going to start at step 2. All right. If you're given grams and it asks you for moles, you're going to go from step 1 to step 2 and end here where you get to moles. Okay, so it's all a matter, it's these 3 steps always. It's just a matter of where do you stop, where do you start, and where do you stop. Okay, so I hope this helps clear things up and you can get a handle on this, because I want you to do well on your test and I want you to do well in chemistry as we move forward. So have a good day. I will see you in class. Take care of yourself.